Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 2020. This is episode number 13. Let's see if we could be a little lucky in this one, as the number is obviously generally associated with things not involving luck. Well, last time out, we were certainly not lucky as we opened the season with a bit of optimism, and yet we are just 3-7 so far. We have a couple of injuries contributing, including De'Aaron Fox and Buddy Hield out right now. On those two, what are we looking at? Sore calf, probable 3 days for Fox. And for Hield, strained knee, out for 2 weeks. It's a bit of a rough thing to deal with there. Yet we're looking now at a roster that has gotten better and better and has a ton of potential here. So between Bagley and Fox and Walker, and even with Hield being tolerable and Cauley-Stein being tolerable, this group should be better than it is. So hopefully things will turn around and we could see ourselves in the playoffs this season. And if not, it's really okay. Sophomore slumps are absolutely a thing, especially in the Draft Day Sports games. If you have played a plethora of Draft Day Sports games, you would be familiar how they function. And if you start with good manager, I could see it not being the case. But if you've ever taken the approach that I take in all of these games, as we have a game here against the Knicks, and we're going to lose that one 97-79 without our top guys. And we're had to rely on Corey Joseph at point guard. Not easy. Next one here, Magic. There's another win for us, 4-8. Deadman putting up big numbers. Joseph's still playing, so we're still without our key players. Anyway, when you start with ones across the board for your base character, whichever one of the games it is, the first season doesn't feel the impact of those ones. I've really noticed that first season, I almost always put together a decent first campaign. It's the second campaign where it picks up on the fact that you happen to be a 1 in pretty much everything. We've got the Pistons next. We're on the road for this one, but the Pistons are just 1-10. Can we get a win? No. We can, actually. For a second there, I thought it was 103-105. No, it was 113-105. And we do come away with the victory in that one. Oh, my eyes deceived me. And then I was just hanging my head in shame there. Fox back at it and looking really strong. 39 points, 14 assists, and 6 boards for him. 5 steals to go with it. What a performance there. Points in the paint, completely dominant. And we're looking at Barnes, a solid 10 for 15 with a plus 10 and 26 points. Really diverse rebounding performance by the team. And it was 45-36, so strong advantage that time. Bull not getting into the game, and that's really starting to bother me that he is not getting time, and Rashawn Holmes is. I need to get rid of Holmes. Bull can develop. Holmes isn't. He's already maxed out. But Fox, wow, that was 15 of 21 shooting. That's nice. Really, Cauley-Stein, that's the kind of performance I like. 14 points, but 5 of 7 shooting. So very efficient. 9 rebounds, a few of them offensive, a few assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks. That is an incredibly efficient day. Really like that. Bagley didn't have a great day, but neither did Walker. 2 for 12, 0 for 8 beyond the arc. Just rough day shooting for him. and sim through a whole week. We've got some time to get through in this episode. I'm not looking to make any big moves anytime soon as we drop another to go 5 and 9 now. Really the biggest thing on my radar is trying to get this team built for the future. Not the present. We are definitely not in a win now situation. So 6 and 10 is definitely not the end of the world. It's also 3 and 3 over the last 6 games since coming back. Starting the episode, that's a good sign for us, but losing to Denver doesn't help. Denver, though, also another team that should be doing way better than they are. Their key players were playing, so no reason why they should be losing the kind of games that they are. Meanwhile, you've got Lakers at 11 and 5, Spurs and Knicks are both looking good, Pacers are looking good on the season so far. Clippers 14 and 1, Celtics are 11 and 4. Next up, Bulls at home. We're just 3 and 7 at home, and we lose another one. Ouch. Next up, Lakers on the road. They're perfect at home, so don't expect any fireworks here. And no, we've lost 3 straight. Now, it's Friday, November 24th. So, looking at that, the draft, we could be looking at a decent draft pick this year if we continue to lose the games. You have to see where we're at kind of overall. Let's go Holy Clippers 16 and 1. Wow. But then the Raptors just 1 and 16, Pistons 3 and 14, the Heat. But there we are, right in the midst of kind of everything in the hunt for a really high draft pick. And considering how close we are to having the pieces we need, young and able to develop, I'm kind of actually excited by that prospect of another struggling year so that we can end up. Of course, last season we didn't struggle. The pick was because we got it off the hands of the Cavaliers, who of course then went on to struggle this season because, they gave up their draft pick. In terms of a trade, where could we go? What could we do? Well, Dedmon's obvious choice, but nobody wants his contract. We tried to move him last year, and it just wasn't happening. Rashawn Holmes is another choice. Yes, he is 27, but he's already maxed out his potential, and with Bol behind him, equivalent, cheaper, better potential, I'd like to get Bol the chance to kind of take over the Dedmon role, which is now backup. So if Bol can develop, he could be like Dedmon, and we can get rid of both Dedmon and Holmes and save ourselves $18 million. Bol won't re-sign for 1.5, but he'll probably re-sign for $3 or $4 million, especially if we sign him soon. So I'd love to get him signed on for a few years, and they've got him listed at 7.2. In real life, he's listed at 7.3, which is short compared to his dad, Newt, who was, what was he, 7.7? 7'6", one of the tallest players ever in the league, one of. Buddy Hield certainly could be trade bait. He is not a permanent fixture, I think, to this roster, but for now he is. Corey Joseph could go, but we don't have a backup right now. Now we're looking on draft picks. We got rid of a second round pick in 2022, but otherwise we have all of our core picks still. So Dedmon is really the main piece that we'd look to try to trade, and I just don't know what we can get in return. Right? I mean, there is no way we're going to get a first pick out of anyone. I don't think there's anyone who's going to want to take on that contract. And anyone who's not going to see it as an advantage, us. We're not going to get a first pick out of somebody for those guys. So I think we're going to have to try to trade for some young talent as opposed to a pick. Unless we can dump our second round as a booster of some kind, and I still don't think that's going to come together. Cavaliers could be a really good option, but what could I give them? Dylan Windler, 24, Colin Sexton, 3 stars, just 21 years of age. Playing 22 minutes a game, 15.5 points per game. And you've got Garland. That's interesting. Right? You've got a little bit of extra depth between the guard positions. I mean, look at this guy. 20 years of age. Kevin Porter Jr. Not playing. But he's already at 2.5 stars. Wow. Now, see, they still see that as advantage me. Giving them all of those things just for Porter. And that's why I don't think we're making any trades anytime soon. I don't have much to give because I'm happy with most of what I have right now. And what I do have to give, what I'd like to unload, nobody wants it. Even when you try to just give it away, it's going to be hard to get anything out of anyone. Even if I try to give away for scraps. Even if I literally just tried to hand him away. Really, the only way we get rid of him now is if we released him. And we'd release him for a big loss. We've got the Clippers on the road, so... huge win there as the Clippers dropped just their 3rd game of the season and their first home loss of the season. That's where the potential of this team shows. We don't have the consistency. Maybe there is a factor about playing young players that don't come with the consistency that you get of having veterans on the court. I have no idea if that is anything in this game whatsoever. The fact that we won that game is a definite sign as we take another at home against Golden State. G League now getting started. Okay, our second scouting update. Patrick Thompson, not impressed, okay? I think one of the things I should be doing here in the near future is starting to manage contracts. As in, get Bol Bol re-signed on the cheap before he does improve, before he does get the playing minutes, where he's willing to take just about anything. Speaking of, why not? Let's see what I can do You can see he's got potential to improve a good bit. Scoring, his passing, his rebounding, his shot blocking, which should be a little higher than that. Okay, bull. Can I do anything right now? I can't. I have to wait. About somebody else. Like Beasley. Swanigan. Okay, Swanigan can be offered an extension right now. I'm guessing Holmes? No, he can't. Oh, De'Aaron Fox can, though. That's a big one. That's the big contract we need to get signed. We need to get him before he goes crazy. He's going to see a big pay increase. But at this point, with the core developing, and if we do get a good draft pick, we could add that, hopefully one more piece. And then we're there. We're not that far over the cap right now. This is going to push us up higher, but that's okay. We don't have much in expiring contracts. I mean, look at that. There's only $17 million coming off the books. So that's not even going to put us in a healthy situation anyway. It's going to put us just below the cap. So that's not happening. So at this point, I think we're full on looking for De'Aaron Fox, whatever it takes. What does he want? He wants a lot, but his mood is excellent right now. And $27 million really isn't actually even that bad. We could probably offer him less. Try 21 and go with 8% raises. And I'd rather make this a 4-year deal. Oh, you cannot offer more than a 7% raise. Well, in that case, we'll lock into that. Maybe we'll try a little bit lower first, 6%. Not bad for a start, but how about this? Excuse me. Sorry, coming out of a cold here. Still looking for 3 years, but he has accepted the 6% raises. He's cut his demands down by $1 million, so if we bring ours up by $1 million and meet him in the middle, maybe we'll bump this up a little bit too. We'll come up more than $1 million, 1.2. His mood is still excellent. Okay, now it's fair. So he wasn't too thrilled by the small increase. He didn't come down as much this time. So I do think we need to come up a lot. Almost $2 million this time. We're going to stay with the 4 years and 6%. I think we're almost close enough now that he might be willing to accept. No, that's no good. It's not what I'm looking for. But we're close on numbers now. Really close on numbers. So let's bring this up. Okay, 600,000. We're almost there. The only difference is the years. And otherwise, I'm just about giving him what he's asking for. So let's see if he'll sign on to that one. Uh-oh. Okay, he's growing impatient. He still wants the 3 years. We're actually going to go above what he's asking by a slight amount. by going over. Hopefully that'll get us that 4th year. Otherwise I'll find out real quick that that was the issue all along. Okay, we can't go above the league. Okay, let's bring that down just a hair then. Still above. Put it pretty much right where he's asking. See if that'll do it this time. We're still above it. It's that 4th year. It's that 4th year that's going to be the problem. Well, if I have to drop it to 3... Let's go back up. And we're going to try 5%. Okay, I think we need to meet him on his terms. Maybe just flat. Come down to 3 years. What? I'm giving you almost exactly what you asked for. Okay. Oh my gosh. 99.999%, exactly what he asked for. And he says no. Boy, I hope that's not a... something he won't come back to later in the season. That's part of the reason why we wanted to meet now, right? Well, that was pretty ridiculous. Another win there. 9-13. Not as bad now. Team has played 500 ball for a while. Just not back to 500 after the slow start. Ten and 13, we've got the Raptors next. They just 5 wins on the year. They stay at 5 wins. We go to 11 and 13. Fox with 33 and 12. Tacoma has not won a game yet. 0 and 5. I know I can't re-sign him for a while. I just hope we get another chance. That it's not just done for the season. You get one shot and one shot only. Wow, we beat the Hawks too. They were 15-9 entering the game. Little win streak going, and we were just about to 500. What have you got for me? Buddy Hield. Go ahead and give him the praise. Attitude's good, but effort decreases a little bit when that happens. There was a big trade, I just didn't see who. The Rockets. is. Wow, Alfariq Aminu for all those guys. I know Aminu well. Good defender, but that's it. Sir Little going to the development league. Most of the moves are all around the development league right now. Fox injured again. That's not good. Just a sore shoulder, though. He'll be okay. I don't know if there's any changes. No, I think it's season on season, the way that one works. Alright, well, here's how the league is shaking up. We've moved off the bottom of the league, but only slightly. We're ahead of the Warriors now, 12 and 13. Lakers still on top, but the Clippers, with those two in the division, it's going to be really hard to rebound to anything substantial. Overall, those are the top two teams. Raptors, Pistons, Heat, Cavs, Thunder. You can see we've made our way up the list a lot. Right about halfway up now. Lose that one to Boston, though. Next up, Pacers. We're 7-6 on the road. We're actually better on the road than we've been at home. Wow! Wow, 147, 152. It looks like the All-Star game just took place. In fact, I think I've seen that exact scoreline on the All-Star game just a year or two ago. Tacoma 3-7. They're getting better after an 0-5 start. Okay, fantastic play. But remember, attitude went away. Let's get that attitude back up. Hopefully, that will get him back in the mood. I'd certainly like to get back to negotiating with him. Loyalty is high. But the organization relationship is at 49%, so we need that to come back up. Especially with those 25 points per game that he's given us. I really thought going 99.9% of the way, well, more than that. It was more than 99.9% of the way to meeting his terms. He would be sure to accept. I was quite surprised that he did not accept the deal at that point. Especially, I've had a team incident. Oh no. What happened? Major team incident report. I don't like that word. Take it away. I don't know if we're running a basketball team or a daycare. Well, I really am running a daycare downstairs. Dwayne Dedman and Jake Walker just had a showing match over a video game. I wish they showed that kind of passion on the floor. Anyway, maybe there's hope to sort this out. But we might need to clear these guys out of here to help the locker room morale. Both players' attitudes have dropped significantly as a result of this incident. Well, that's lame. So now we have a negative mood for 3 guys. Yeah, that's not good. Memphis heavy favorites for the next game. Oh, that Pacers game, that was overtime. I didn't see that at the time, but yeah, that was an overtime loss. Okay, we need to take a look at key dates, see where we're at in things. December 20. Nothing until February. Okay, so nothing till February. We're good for a while. That's the trade deadline. $14 and $15. 1 game away from 30 into the season. And 1 win away from being at 500 for the first time all year. Got the Warriors on the road. It's a chance to do it, and we do successfully get back to 15 and 15. I think that is a wonderful point to put in a break. So now looking at those standings, let's look at the conference this time as a 500 team, which remember last season we finished at, 42 and 40? Just over 500. So now we're kind of on track for that again. Clippers have the 1 seed, Jazz the 2 seed, Lakers the 3 seed right now, and those 3 are all well clear of the pack. Then you have the Suns, Blazers, and then a little drop to the Mavericks, Spurs, and myself just behind them. Just 1 game separating the 3 of us. Another half game back to the Grizzlies in the 9th spot. Then it drops off a bit. So we have moved up, but it's still tight. There's only 3 games between us. Sorry about that. 3 games between us and last place. And looking 3 games the other way is between us and the Suns. So from 4th to last in the Western Conference is tightly packed. Eastern Conference, very different story with some really, really bad performances out there, and 15 and 17 enough to be in the playoff picture right now, as things tend to be in the East as opposed to the West. We're 8-9 in conference, 4-5 in the division, 6-8 at home, 9-7 on the road. So the freedom of playing on the road seems to have been a boost for us, as we're not playing terribly well at home. But we are 8-2 in the last 10 games, so we've won 3 straight. Outside of the Jazz, who have won 13 straight, and the Clippers that have won 10 straight. That's really the only streak in the West Coast at all. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.